Hey everybody, this is Nessa here from Nessa's Hair Extensions down at 684 King Street West in Kitchener. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you how to revive your old weave. Now, this could be human hair weave that you've worn every day for a while. This could be some clip-in extensions that you're thinking looking a little tired, and you just want to give it an extra kick. Also, this is suitable for any sort of human hair. So whether it's a human hair wig, whether you've got micro loop or fusion extensions, if they are reusable, or even your natural hair, this is really great treatment for all of those. So the things you're going to need. Firstly, you are going to need a bowl, a nice big bowl, or you can also use a sink, either your bathroom sink or just really a nice clean sink. Do make sure it's nice and washed out and sanitized, as you don't want to contaminate your hair with yucky bacteria as well. You're trying to revive it here, not kill it. The next thing you're going to need is a nice wide tooth comb. Please refrain from using a brush. Although it may seem like it's a lot nicer and a lot smoother, you are putting more damage to your hair, and that's like the opposite of what we're trying to do here. Next thing you're going to need is a nice good moisturizing shampoo. Now I am using the Elastic QP shampoo. This is normally used for when you are trying to wash out relaxer or chemicals from your hair. You don't have to use something like this, but just something nice and moisturizing. But this has great vitamins and olive oil and all that jazz in it. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is some vinegar. Okay, really important. Now I'm using apple cider vinegar. Preferably, if you can get it, organic apple cider vinegar is best, because that has not been processed as much as this stuff. However, I got this for $1.50 down at Superstore. If you cannot find apple cider vinegar, you can also use white vinegar as well, but preferably, if you can, get the apple cider. And you are also going to need a hair treatment. Now, what I'm using is the Organics Africa's Best Olive Oil Treatment, and it's a deep conditioner. Now, you can use regular conditioner. However, for it to really for the best revival, you want to use a nice deep penetrating treatment conditioner. We're going to leave this stuff on it, apply heat for like 10 minutes, and you'll see this near the end. But this is the stuff that's really going to make the difference as well. It doesn't have to be this one. There's CPR treatments. There's also, for example, this is one of the CPR treatments that I have, and you can use hair mayonnaise or so forth. There's a lot of things out there, but just make sure you get a good treatment. And lastly, you're going to need some water. Okay, so I did make this video yesterday, and a lot of it was done, well, it was done on one of my clients' old weaves. She'd been wearing this hair for about 3 months. I'm sorry, I did have a before picture or a before video. However, that got deleted somehow. So I don't have the before. But anywho, so the hair, when I felt it, it felt like it had been worn for the last few months. It was a bit stiff in places, and the ends were now is also the time that you're going to want to get some warm water into your bowl or your sink. Now add some shampoo into that water. When you take your hands out, you're gonna want to feel the shampoo on your fingers. You don't want it to feel like water, but just look like soapy water. Feel that shampoo on your fingers. That's how you're going to know that you have enough in there. Okay, here's the video starting from that point. Enjoy. Okay, so the first step is to comb out each section of your hair before placing it in your warm shampoo water. Now that all of our hair is in the water, what you're going to want to do is swish it around. I'm going in an up and down motion just due to the amount of hair that I have, but what you can do is swish it through. Do not crumple it or comb it or drag it through the shampoo in a violent way, because of course that's going to cause more knots and more stress on the hair. So we just want to swish it and dab it. Now rinse your hair with warm water and repeat that same step once again. I've got my warm water. I've rinsed the hair cleanly. Now I'm getting more water and I'm putting a bit more shampoo in there. And I'm going to repeat the process to make sure it's extra nice and clean. I'm especially doing this because it was worn for 3 months. Okay, now that my hair is all clean and it's been double washed, I'm going to place it, or I'm going to take it really out of the water, and I'm going to gently squeeze off the excess water with my fingers and place it on the towel. You are going to find that the hair is going to have a couple of knots in it. That is just because of the shampoo. Those knots are going to come out really nicely, so don't be tempted to comb them out right now. We will do all of this when it's nice and conditioned. Now I'm going to get rid of my dirty soapy water, and I'm going to take all of the hair I've just squeezed out, and I'm going to rinse it individually. Right, okay, so my hair is all nice and rinsed out and clean. What we're going to do now is we're going to be making our vinegar rinse. For this rinse, you're going to use 3 parts vinegar plus 1 part water. Remember, you can also use white vinegar if apple cider vinegar is not available. Okay, so I'm adding my vinegar first. I'm putting in the whole 500 ml bottle that I have. And then I'm going to be adding approximately 160 or 170 milliliters of water. Now that we have our mixture, I'm going to be adding the hair. Now I'm pushing the hair down to make sure it is completely saturated. And we're going to leave the hair in the vinegar for 5 minutes. Okay, so I've returned and the vinegar, the hair has been soaked in the vinegar for the last 5 minutes. Now what I'm doing is I'm picking the hair up, and you can see before I put it in there was a few knots in the hair, and that was from the shampoo and the rinse. As it's been soaked in the vinegar, it's nice and smooth to the point where I can easily finger comb it. And it's lovely. So the vinegar is already working to bring back that luster and that shine. Okay, so our next step is now to add our conditioning treatment. Now I'm getting a spoon, and you're going to take a couple of big globs. Okay, now I'm not putting it directly in the hair. I'm going to be putting it in my bottle of water because I'm going to want to mix it up and make sure it's kind of nice and loose before I put the globs in there. And again, what you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for a nice silky texture when you touch the water itself. So if you find that you're dipping it in and it feels too thin, add a little bit more. Or if it feels too greasy, that's okay. Just don't add any more at this point while we're getting it to soak. Once we have our mixture ready, we're going to pour it all over our vinegar hair. Remember, we've not rinsed out any vinegar. This is still hair that's saturated in the vinegar for the last 5 minutes, and we're adding the conditioning treatment directly to it. Now I'm patting the hair down again, making sure it's all nice and moist and that the hair is soaking up all of the conditioner, as well as, again, continuing on with the vinegar. Okay, now we're going to be preparing for the next step. What you're going to want to do is comb out each individual weft or strand or your wig very, very gently to remove all of those knots. Now I'm placing them in little twisted bundles to the side just so they can stay and remain nice and untangled. Okay, so I've got all my hair nice and combed out and in my bundles. Now I'm getting ready to actually do the heat part of the treatment. As this olive oil treatment does require a good amount of heat in order to penetrate the hair really, really well. Also, notice I've not thrown out the water. We are going to use that because that's still a very good vinegar conditioner mix. All right, so what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to get our olive oil treatment, and we're going to pick up each individual strand or weft, and we're going to really saturate it through. So I've got about a finger amount on my fingers, or, well, a little glob on my fingers, and I'm literally going to rub it through and make sure it's nice and saturated on each weft. And then I'm going to curl it right back up, and I'm going to place it in my bag. Again, you don't need to use a bag. I'm just using it out of necessity because that's what I have. I would prefer to use a Tupperware container, but I don't have one right now, so I'm using a Ziploc bag. Okay, so all of the hair, I'm just nearly finished, but I'm doing the same thing, just getting the globs, putting it through, wrapping it back up, and I'm nearly done putting everything back in the bag. Okay, so now that I have all my hair nice and saturated in the treatment, I'm going to take some of my water or my vinegar conditioner mix, and I'm going to add it in the bag, into the bag. This is going to really, really help that hair soak up all of that good stuff, all that vinegar, and all that treatment. Okay, don't worry, it is not dirty water. Again, it's just because we've cleaned our hair, it's just got a lot of conditioner in it. Okay, so now that we've got everything in there, you can see I'm adding a little bit more. Again, we want it really saturated. I'm going to close up my bag now, and I'm going to start pressing down just to make sure our conditioner mixture is reaching every inch and every part of that hair, because we don't want anything to be left out. Right, okay, so now what we're going to do though is we are going to apply the heat part of the treatment, and we're going to put this in the microwave. I know it sounds weird, but that's how we can get a lot of heat to it in a short amount of time. So we're going to pop it in the microwave for approximately 5 minutes. If you have got a lot of hair, you can go all the way up to 7 minutes or so as well. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it in for 5 minutes, and I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes after that. Okay, and it's going to stay really nice and warm. So after I took my hair out the microwave and let it sit for 5 minutes, I rinsed it off with some nice warm water. I combed it ever so slightly just to make sure everything was going to be hanging nicely, and I hung it to dry. Now, I hung it to dry overnight, and when I came back this morning, it was all fabulous, and these are the results. Okay, so again, this was 3-month-old, worn every single day hair in a full head weave, and we are back to a nice lustrous shine. There were some split ends, those are nicely repaired, and this weave is now ready to go back in the box and be used for a further 3 months straight, and then rinse and repeat, as we know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it for you. I really, really do hope it helps those out there who do want to revive your weave. It gets expensive, ladies, when you're buying new hair every 3 months. Waste not, want not, revive your weave, wear it again, be happy. Wonderful. If you have any questions or queries about the video or the things that you found, please do send me a message. I'm here to help. And do remember that this is not only for weaves. You can do this treatment on your natural hair too. Just don't put your head in the microwave. Use a hair dryer or something to apply heat that way. Please don't put your head in the microwave. Wonderful. Thank you. That is all for me today. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. And next video will be how to revive your synthetic hair. Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.